And good afternoon, everyone. Welcome again to the studios of Frito Nation here in Allen, Texas. Mark Friedman, longtime friend, radio buddy, and he can set you up a podcast if you'd like to start getting the word out about what you do. Mark's the best. Mark at FritoNation.com is the email to contact him. And joining me is my broadcast partner, soon to be, of 10 years in the Allen Americans broadcast booth, the one and only Maurice Fitzgerald. Well, how you doing? First of all, it's good to see you, and tell everybody where you're broadcasting from there.
Out of my own house here in Allen. It's been a pretty crazy time for everybody. Everybody's locked in at home, and we're doing the same here. And the first time I've seen you since the end of the season, since before you guys went to Utah.
Now, if you're watching this on the video, it looks like we are closer than 6 feet. But to be honest, we are probably several miles apart. So, again, great to see you, my friend. Another exciting year. It didn't end the way we wanted it to. Obviously, we both had high hopes and long playoff run in mind. But, sometimes it just doesn't work out that way. And, the pandemic has obviously got the country upside down right now. But it sounds to me like things are starting to turn just a bit, which is good news. And maybe somewhere down the road we can start thinking about sports again.
Yeah, it would be great. It's just been a trying time for everyone around the world, not just here in Allen and, in the United States, but around the world. And it's just one of those things where, no one expected it and it just came out of nowhere, and it really has affected everybody, but we're all doing the best we can. And, our first responders doing a fantastic job. Hats off to them. All of our doctors and nurses and all doing a great job. And, it's just it'll be great to get back to hockey, and it'd be great to get back to regular life. It's just been crazy for everybody.
Well, I've asked all my guests that I've had on during the Zoom video chats that we've been doing for the last several weeks, and it's been great. I knew we'd eventually get around to you. I'd like to say save the best for last. But, what have you been doing? I've heard all kinds of different things from the voices around the world of how they're getting through this pandemic. What are you doing to keep sane?
Just been working. It's nothing has stopped for me. It's just our job continues, and we've been working pretty busy, especially when everything turned around and they started sending people home. It was real busy for us, so we just kind of just put our heads down, got it all done. And then this last weekend with the holiday was the first real break we've had in 3 weeks, so it was nice to have that.
A lot of people don't know that Maurice has a job outside the Americans podcast booth. Wish it paid that well, that you didn't have to work, but you are a busy man, and great to see you're looking good, looking healthy.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I'm trying to stay healthy, and Linda's working, and it's been a little bit different for her because not as many patients she's seeing because she's in the health field. So fortunately, everything's been going good for her, and no contact with anyone. But you got to do what you got to do, and try to maintain as much distance as you can, and just wash your hands, be smart, and so far everybody's healthy, which is good.
I have to ask you because I've asked everybody that's been involved in these Zoom video chats. Are you one that's been getting into that Tiger King that's got everybody consumed in front of the TV?
No, Linda has watched it. I've not watched it. I took one look at it and I was like, oh, wow, that's a train wreck I just want to avoid. So I just kind of stayed away from that. And, she enjoyed it, though. She watched it all the way through. I think she binged it all in one sitting, but me, I was like, nah, I'll pass on that.
Well, it's amazing. During this time, I've managed to do some painting in my apartment. I have done my spring cleaning early. I upgraded my TVs. I added a couple big ones. I've got 4 huge TVs in my living room now. And, wow. You have to have something to do, right, in your spare time at night. And so that's what I've been doing. No games, no playoff games. So I've been upgrading around the apartment there at my home. Let's talk about the season here just a minute. And there were a lot of big moments throughout the year. And as you and I talked about many times, this team right here had the making of one that could have a long playoff run and possibly even, playing into June, which we hoped and we thought might be possible. Just thinking back at some of the big moments you were involved in, obviously on the call at home, what stands out to you?
It's tough to say. I think overall, there's not one moment. I think just the entire season is the overall moment itself. Because, what we saw last year was very atypical of the Americans. And, everybody doesn't want to talk about it anymore, and that's great. But you do need to look back on it for the simple fact that look at the turnaround this year. It was so huge. I mean, Marty just put together a monster roster, and it's a shame we're not going to be able to see them compete deep into the postseason, because I think this team really did have the best chance to win of the teams in the past 5 years. This was just a really, really strong roster.
And not to mention, Mo, the possibility of getting Gabe Gagne back and Turner Ottenbright, some of those guys that were up in the American Hockey League, key additions down the stretch. Somebody like a Mitch McLean, who could have been in the mix for this team going into the playoffs, and maybe even Sawchenko coming back. So a lot of what ifs, a lot of, oh man, it hurts to end the season. And honestly, when we came back from Utah, in March, towards the end of March, I didn't think at that point that we were done completely, but how quickly that changed after we got back home, just a matter of a day and a half before the league made the announcement that the season was over. When they first made that announcement, I should say, I was like, oh, come on. But looking now, they made the right announcement. They were on it early, said, hey, let's start looking towards 2021. And that turned out to be the right decision, as things didn't get better quickly. They got worse.
Yeah, no, the ECHL did the right thing, and as did the NHL and the American League and every league. It was just a really bad situation that just really spiraled out of control pretty quickly. Thankfully, the decision makers made the right call, and for everybody's safety, just called everything off. Hockey is the greatest game on the planet, and we all love it and all that stuff, but life is more important than just playing hockey. So we have to make sure everybody's home with their families, are safe. And, there's always next season that'll, we'll get back into hockey and stuff, but it'll be curious to see how everything's going to go with all the social distancing stuff that's going to be in place. And the NHL is even talking that they may play in July or August. So that'll make for a really interesting summer.
I know, and I still find it hard to believe, considering the fact that we're keeping our distance when we go to a grocery store and into Walmart and those stores. I find it hard to believe that we'll get back to sports, anytime soon, but you never know. Crazier things have happened. I know as Bob Sturm from The Ticket, I had him on the other day, and Bob said, we all need it. Sports is kind of our escape away from what's going on in the real world. And so I know we've been able to bring our fans over the last several years, several big moments and great endings to a season, and hopefully we'll have another one coming soon.
I think so. It's just right now, no one knows what's going on. The good thing is things are starting to turn around. Things are seeming to slow down, or at least I don't want to say they are, but they're seeming to. So hopefully it'll stay that way. And I think all the social distancing has really helped. And, everyone's being smart about it. And we're all in it together. So we all have to do our part. And that appears to be making an effect, having a big effect on it right now. So hopefully it'll stay that way.
Well, again, thank you for doing this afternoon. I know fans wanted to hear from you, making sure that you're okay.
Yep.
Safe and well. And, we'll see you again sooner than later.
Yeah, definitely. I'll see you guys soon. And hopefully we'll have hockey in October in Allen.
All right. The one and only Maurice Fitzgerald joining us here this afternoon. Stay safe, my friend.
You too. Take care, Tommy.